A former Oklahoma State senator turned his life story into a movie. Heaven's Rain details the true life story of an Oklahoma family. 2 News anchor Russ McCaskey sits down with Brooks Douglas to find out more about the reaction to the film.
Brooks Douglas joins us. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, for those who don't know, you're a former Oklahoma State senator, and you've turned your life story into a movie. And for those who don't know, tell me a little bit about, what happened to you when you were a teenager that really transformed your life.
My family, my parents have been missionaries to Brazil. Our family, my father was then pastoring a church in Oklahoma City. And 1979, I was 16 years old, and two guys, Glenn Ake and Stephen Hatch, came to our house, and they hog-tied us all, hands and feet behind our back on the living room floor, and then they took turns sexually assaulting my sister, and then sat down, ate our dinner that my mother had been fixing, and then shot us all in the back and left us for dead.
Yeah, and your parents were killed. You and your sister obviously survived, and it's been a long road, over these last almost 30 years now since that happened. And one of the things that I guess is interesting is as a state senator, you led the charge for victims' rights, even authoring the bill that would allow victims' relatives to be able to watch an execution, right. And you watched one of the executions of one of those two perpetrators.
Right. Stephen Hatch was executed in '96, and the way his case had been going, we testified against these guys a total of 9 different times over the course of 17 years, and I wasn't sure that he had ever actually faced the death sentence, and he did. And my sister and I were among really the first ones under that law to be able to witness an execution.
Yeah. And then the other part of the story that really makes it compelling is you ended up having a face-to-face meeting with the other perpetrator of the crime, and ultimately you found it in your heart to be able to forgive him. Tell me a little bit about how that transpired.
Well, my family, my father being a minister, my family being in the ministry, I was always taught that I should forgive, and my faith has always taught me that I should forgive, but it's never been anything that I've been very good about doing, I guess I'd say. But when I got there in the room with him, and I can't say that it was anywhere on my mind to be able to forgive him. In fact, it wasn't even on the radar. All the possibilities that I could think of, that was not one of them. But after an hour-and-a-half long meeting, which is depicted in the movie, not the full hour and a half of it, but about 7 or 8 minutes of it, right. I did get up and I told him that I forgave him.
Yeah. And so, what's life been like since then?
Much different than I thought. I mean, I don't know that I realized the amount of anger and rage that I really carried around inside me. And so having that experience was pretty well life transforming, and so it's just made it easier to go on and to live a happy life and to have a family, a new family. I now have a wife and a 5- and a 3-year-old, and enjoying my life very much.
Now you made a movie about your life story, and you've gotten a lot of publicity. You just recently, Dateline re-aired the 2-hour show that they did on you and your sister, and then you've also been on The View and some of these shows. What's the reaction been from the public once they've heard the story and those who've seen the movie?
Well, because it's my life, I never see it exactly the way they do, but people are pretty blown away usually, and they're blown away when they see the movie, because that isn't even what they think it's going to be. They think it's going to be a crime story, and it turns out to be a story, as we say, of family, of love, and of hope and forgiveness.
Yeah. And so now you've had it in the theaters before. You're going around visiting a lot of churches. You did one in Tulsa last week, but you're also selling DVDs. So if people want to see the movie, how can they go about getting it?
They can go to our website. It's heavensrainmovie.com, R-A-I-N, rainmovie.com, and we do have events that are coming up and throughout Oklahoma and other states, and actually throughout the entire United States. But the best way and the quickest way probably is for them to buy the DVD, which they can order it from our website.
All right, Brooks Douglas, thanks for being with us. Good luck to you.
All right.